What is up, coordinators, naturals, and everything in between? We are back, and this week we are diving into the history of the Cosmic Era. Cosmic Era is a part of Gundam's alternate universe in the anime and manga Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. This series is huge in Japan. Some would say this reinvigorated the genre back in 2003, but Western fans seem to have a different overall opinion. Some say that many of the characters in Gundam Seed are one-dimensional, and I say that isn't fair. There are one-dimensional characters that happen to have access to nukes, and boy, do we see a lot of nukes in this series. Directed by Mitsuo Fukuda, this is Gundam's first foray into digital art. And like many rush shows for the time, and even to this day, it was edited heavily when remastered for the home video market. But my god, look at that chin on Kira. You can stab a man's eye out with that chin. Regardless of how you feel about this is happening, simple humans. Push the eject button before it's too late, because we are diving into the Cosmic Era. Unlike Universal Century, the strife between the two warring factions are due to genetic discrimination. In Universal Century, space noids were trying to fight for their independence against the Earth noids, as people on Earth were usually richer and the billions of people living in space were typically of lower class. In the Cosmic Era, there are two warring factions, the Naturals and the Coordinators. The plant communities, which are this universe's sides, or space colonies, which stands for People Liberation Acting Nation of Technology, began engaging in genetic engineering of humans, creating the Coordinator. The Naturals, or natural-born humans, and the antithesis to Coordinators, were becoming worried of the genetic engineering done by the spacefaring colonies and decided to step in. However, there doesn't seem to be any class disparity in the Cosmic Era, or at least the cause of the war was not due to classism, but rather genetic disparity. Let's start off with the Bloody Valentine incident. The lead up to the Bloody Valentine incident is very similar to the UC timeline. Around CE 30 and all the way up to the 60s, there was a huge boom of coordinators. And with disparity comes radicalism, as the rise in coordinators brings forth Blue Cosmos, an anti-coordinator terrorist group. The Zodiac Alliance, a political organization, was formed by Athern Zala's father, Patrick Zala, and others from the L5 colony. This essentially became the Zodiac Alliance of Freedom Treaty in CE 68, also known as ZAFT. Now with an emerging army, ZAFT and Plant was seen as a threat to the Earth Alliance. But an army wasn't enough. They needed self-sufficient agriculture. This is where the Junius colonies come into play. Junius 7, 8, 9, and 10 were set to be remodeled for agricultural production to help Plant achieve this goal of self-sufficiency. With the help of their newly produced general-purpose mobile suit, the Jin, it seemed that Plant and ZAFT were becoming the self-sufficient nation they wanted to be. As the colonies were still a sponsored nation from Earth, they were exporting goods to Earth, but with constant attack on the colonies, mostly done by Blue Cosmos. Plant decided to cease exporting goods to Earth. After some bickering back and forth for a few months, on February 11, CE 70, the Earth Alliance declares war on Plant. During this time, the Agamemnon-class ship, the Roosevelt, leaves for Junius colonies with a particularly new nuclear-powered mobile armor. 3 days after the declaration of war on February 14th, the Roosevelt met up with an ongoing attack on Plant by the Earth Alliance. During this battle, the Roosevelt launched the TS-MA-2 Mobius mobile armor equipped with nuclear weapons. ZAFT's Jin greatly outperformed the Mobius, but in this case, all the mobile armor had to do was survive long enough to launch the weapon of mass destruction. The Mobius targeted and destroyed Junius 7, killing its 1/4 billion inhabitants, including Lenore Zala, mother of Athern Zala. This event greatly radicalized Patrick Zala, and I'm sure influenced Athern Zala in the course of Gundam Seed. The Bloody Valentine incident was the start of the war between Plant and Earth Alliance, and only got worse from there. What the Earth Alliance assumed would be a swift ending to the space colonies essentially turned into a battle that dragged out for nearly 11 months in a somewhat stalemate. This incident also led to the invention of the neutron jammer, which would change how nukes are used in battle. The battle will rage on for 11 months before the Battle of Heliopolis, which is where we meet our hero, Kira Yamato. The Orb Union, a neutral country located in New Guinea, also controls the neutral colony Heliopolis. During the past 11 months, the Mobius was seen as inferior to Zaft's Jin units. The Earth Alliance needed something that could compete with the mobile suit. What they needed was a mobile suit that was able to be piloted by a natural. And where is the location of the development and production of these mobile suits? Heliopolis, of course. Not so neutral it seems, Orb. This is why we get such a distraught Kigali in the first episode of Gundam Seed. Of course, Zaft sent a spy to find out that Orb was developing weapons for the Earth Alliance. A small group known as the Le Creuset team was ran by the main villain of Gundam Seed, Rao Le Creuset. Rao is a clone of Al Daflaga, father of Mu Laflaga, and his original name was Rao Laflaga. But that information is left saved for a video that I will most likely never make. The Le Creuset team that infiltrates Heliopolis and attempts to steal the new G units consists of Athern Zala, Isaac, Diarca, Nicol, and, of course, Rusty. Zaft planted bombs as well as sent Jins to distract the Earth Alliance forces, and it worked, as Mu Laflaga sortied to fight the distraction. During this time, the Le Creuset 5 infiltrated the colony. Isaac, Diarca, and Nicol take the first 3 found in the transport, while Athern and Rusty go into the base to find the remaining 2. He saves the girl, which turns out to be Kigali, but realizes he stumbled onto a military base where the remaining 2 mobile suits are stored. This is where he meets Murie Ramius, who is a part of the Archangel crew. While the mobile suits were being stolen, the Archangel fell under heavy attack, killing most of its crew. One of the surviving members of the explosion was Natalie Badriel. She was unfortunately the highest ranking survivor and thus assumed command of the Archangel during the assault by Zaft. Back at the base hangar, Rusty is taken out by the Earth forces. Athern shoots Murie and goes in for the kill. It is during this time that he realizes that his childhood friend Kira Yamato is right in front of him, protecting a natural. We see flashbacks of Athern Zala and Kira Yamato as childhood friends. Athern even gives Kira his robot pet bird, Tori, or Birdie. Caught up in the moment, Murie shoots at Athern as he runs away. She then pushes Kira into the Gundam. As he is a coordinator, he is able to reprogram and calibrate the Gundam on the fly, something that naturals seem to struggle with. Taking control, Kira defeats the Jin with ease. He is pushed to his limit in his first battle as he saw some of his friends fleeing. During this time, Rao recognizes that one unit was not captured, and it is vital that Strike gets into the hands of Zaft. He also joins the battle. Kira saves his friends and Murie, but Murie, waking up from being unconscious, naturally shoots at children. She forces Kira and his friends to remain by her side since they have seen too much in this battle. On the outside of Heliopolis, Mu Laflaga and Rao Le Creuset engage in battle. They eventually make their way into the colony to find and destroy Strike. But before that could happen, the Archangel takes flight. Kira, now equipped with better artillery, accidentally shoots a hole into Heliopolis while trying to shoot down Rao Le Creuset. The Strike team eventually meets up with the Archangel. The Le Creuset team regroup back at their ship and sortie again with the exception of Athern, as he has been told not to. However, dying to know if it were truly Kira he was fighting, he disobeyed orders. He and the Le Creuset team go down to try to retrieve the Strike unit, facing Kira head on. As the battle continues, Kira destroys Miguel's Jin unit, a member of the Le Creuset team. During this time, the Archangel takes down a Jin only to accidentally clip Heliopolis, and the space colony starts falling apart. After confirming his childhood friend is now his enemy, Kira is flung into space as Heliopolis is destroyed. Kira's home is now gone, and he is also met with the reality that his former best friend is now fighting for Zaft. Like it or not, Kira is now a part of this war. And that'll do it for this video. Let me know how you feel about the Cosmic Era. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I know that I loved this when I first watched it as a kid in 2003, but looking back now, definitely was a struggle to get through. But I want to know your opinions, and let me know which alternate universe timeline that you would like me to cover in the Gundam universe. And be sure to check out the next video. Who knows what it'll be? Will it be an alternate universe video? Will it be a Universal Century video? Who knows? The only way to find out is to keep on watching, New Types. I will catch you later.